be a new term for you guys. Do you have any guesses as to what that might be? A marine protected area? Well, very similar to the way that our state and our national parks preserve and protect natural and cultural resources on land, marine protected areas preserve and protect similar things, but in the ocean and along our coastlines. So here in California, we have all right. So are you guys ready to explore the California coast and learn how we can work together to protect it? We're going to start with my team member, Angie, who is up on the North Coast. So I'm going to throw it over to you, Angie.
Hello, everybody. Welcome and happy World Oceans Day. Like Erica said, my name is Angie, and I am coming to you all the way from Northern California. And up here in Northern California, we live in a very unique place, and we have very unique parks. I am currently sitting in Redwood National and State Park. So you can see behind me here, I have a nice green hill that's covered with forest. So many of our state parks up here are redwood forest ecosystems. So you can come here and visit the tallest trees in the world. But of course, you know that today is World Oceans Day, and such an incredible day it is to celebrate and honor the amazing thing on this side of me, which is the ocean. Like Erica mentioned, we are right next to the Pacific Ocean here in California, and we have some really special places off the coast of California here today. So Erica mentioned that we have MPAs, or marine protected areas. And Erica also said that these places are sort of like parks, but underwater. And here in California, we're so lucky because we have a network of these places that are like underwater parks. We have 124 of them. And each one is so special, so unique, and so valuable to every citizen of the world. And when I think of a single MPA, I like to think of a single pearl. Look at that. It's shiny, it's beautiful, it holds some value. Maybe some people have a special connection to a...
काय रे मुलांना त्यांनी ते हातात जे दाखवलं ते काय आहे?
मोती.
डायमंड है ना? नाही पर्ल आहे ते काय? पर्ल, राईट, पर्ल. तेच विचारतायत ते काय आहे ते. चला पुढे.
Pearl. Maybe it's an heirloom or something that's passed down to them from a family member. And behind me, I have another type of pearl.
Pearl, बघा आला का
pearl? That is a marine protected area called Redding Rock. There's actually two right behind me, right next to each other. Redding Rock State Marine Reserve and State Marine Conservation Area. And they are special and unique and valuable on their own. But like I said, and like Erica said before, we actually have 124 MPAs in California. And what that means is that we actually have a string of pearls that looks like this, strung along that 800 plus miles of shoreline in California. And when we string all those MPAs together like this, they actually serve a unique purpose, just like this necklace. A little bit more of a purpose than just a single pearl has. Of course, we can wear our pearl necklace, and that's what California does with its MPAs. They are exponentially or much more valuable when we have lots of them connected to each other. So our marine protected area network in California and our marine protected areas around the world are something to celebrate, especially today on World Oceans Day. Remembering that the ocean connects us, just like our MPAs are connected, and many things connect us. When you look at the world around us, you might see themes right now of humanity and compassion, and the fact that human cultures have these shared values that unite us. So today we're striving for a healthier ocean, a healthier society, a well cared for and intact social and environmental system that we all get to enjoy for generations to come. So I hope that by learning about these places and by adopting a beach or a marine protected area pile of marine debris.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Angie. It was really great visiting you up on the far north coast. We are going to continue to float on down the coastline and visit our friend Kat, who is at McCarraker State Park.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Angie and Erica. Hi, everyone. My name is Kat, and I'm in McCarricker State Park, which is in Mendocino County in California. And this park, just like Angie's, has an amazing amount of biodiversity. You can see trees behind me. We're right on the coastline, and we also have a marine protected area just offshore. Now, I swear I was gonna talk about a very important animal. I just can't seem to think. That's right, whales. Now, just like our oceans connect all of us, an animal that swims through every ocean is a whale. Now, whales are actually a lot more similar to humans than you might think. Whales are mammals, just like we are, which means that they...
बघा रे ते काय सांगतायत मुलांना. हॅलो, ऐकताय का?
हो हो हो.
हा, कोणता प्राणी दाखवलाय? कुठल्या प्राण्याचं हे जे त्याच्या मागे जर सांगाडा आहे, जो स्केलेटन आहे, कुठल्या प्राण्याचं आहे?
डायनासोर. डायनासोरच्या युगातलं
नाही
तो
नाही, अरे नाही रे, त्यांनी हातात पण दाखवला होता बघा तो. वेल. वेल माहितीये का? वेल. WH वेल. हा, वेल मासा. वेल मासाचं स्केलेटन आहे आणि वेल हे मॅमल्स असतात. म्हणजे ते वेल मासा असा एकमेव मासा आहे की जो पिलांना जन्माला घालतो. लक्षात घ्या. हा, म्हणजे मॅमल्स आहे तो आपल्यासारखा, मनुष्य प्राण्यासारखा. मॅमल्स म्हणजे सस्तन प्राणी. चला पुढे.
एवढं मोठं.
have hair, believe it or not, they do. Whales have hair right here on the rostrum, right on the front. So whales have hair, we have hair. We all breathe air. We are warm-blooded, or we maintain our own body temperature. We don't lay eggs. No, we have birth to live babies, and we feed our babies milk. Now, whales have to do all of this in these oceans.
बरं का मुलांना? हॅलो मुलांना, तुम्हाला तुमचा बॅकग्राऊंड कमी बंद करायला लावला. ऐका ना, तुम्ही हे जे बोलतायत ना ते ऐकत असताना खाली ते जे बोलतायत ना ते खाली येतंय लिहिलेलं, हे पण बघत चला. ते असं सांगत होते की जे व्हेल्स आहेत ते आपल्यासारखे पिलांना जन्माला घालतात, ते आपल्यासारखे श्वास घेऊ शकतात, आपल्यासारखे प्रजनन करू शकतात, हे ते सांगताय. चला पुढे. तू एका ठिकाणी बस फटके. बघा ते काय म्हटली, व्हेल्स आर काइंड्स ऑफ इनॉर्मस. त्याच्याजवळ उभी राहिली तरी तो तिच्यापेक्षा मोठा दिसतो स्केलेटन व्हेलचा. म्हणजे केवढा मासा असेल तो, लक्षात घ्या. कुठे हॅलो. हा सरजी, म्हटलं आपल्याला थोडं लवकर जावं लागणार आहे, ते 10 वाजता येणार आहेत. हो 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 हो, एक 7:45 पर्यंत, सॉरी 8:30 पर्यंत जायचं आहे आपल्याला. 8:30ला निघू आपण. काय ते झालं का लगेच रिटर्न? इथून आपण जाऊ ना 8:30 8:40 पर्यंत इथून निघू. हो 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 हो. आता तुम्हाला घ्यायलाच येतो मी. तुम्हाला काही साधन मिळणार नाही ना तिथपर्यंत. हो चालेल चालेल चला येतो चला घ्यायला चला हा. हो 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 चालेल 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 ओके 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 ओके. काय काय दाखवायचं नाही काय दाखवायचं नाही त्यांना सगळं टाकून दिलंय मी ऑलरेडी. हा ते प्रिंट काढून घेतो ना आता. हो 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 चालेल चालेल ओके हो. नाही ना आता ते मुलांना ते व्हर्च्युअल फील्ड ट्रिपला नेलंय मी कॅलिफोर्निया स्टेट पार्क. हो चालेल ठीक. हा 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 चालेल चालेल. हो हो बरं बोर होत नाही. हो बरोबर आहे ना. बरोबर. हा. चालेल मी जवळ येतोच आता हा चला. हो हो.
सर आवाज
काय
आवाज नाही येते सर.
आवाज नाही
हो
येते
सर
मग
आवाज
तू
नाही.
घरातल्या घरात लावून उशिरा सांगते ते मुलं सांगतात. सांगायचं ना तू आवाज येत नाही का रे मुलांना. बर थांबा मी पुन्हा शेअर
नाही.
थांबा शेअर करतो पुन्हा ते मी माझा मोबाईल चालू झाला ना त्या आपल्या सोमवंशी सरांचा फोन आला होता. आता बघा आवाज येतो का.
It gives them nice,
येतोय का.
safe points whenever they migrate or they're moving
हो.
around. So protecting our ocean is protecting the whales and every other animal that lives in our waters. So, Erica, do I have any questions maybe about my whale friends?
Yeah, there are a lot of questions coming in about that whale skeleton behind you. So a couple of kids are asking, are those real bones or is that a whale fossil or is it fake?
These are, in fact, real whale bones. A whale washed up on McCarraker State Park Beach in the 80s, and these bones were preserved for education about these animals and for the ocean. And specifically for gray whales, they scoop up a bunch of sand and sludge and gunk from the bottom of the ocean, and they use their tongue to find little tiny ocean creatures.
कोणाचा माईक ऑन झालाय रे.
Little tiny crabs or tube worms that live in the sand, and that's what they'll eat. They filter out all the sand and the muck with their baleen, keeping all those little tiny ocean creatures.
But every year she gets to take a trip to British Columbia to see the oceans and coastlines. Do you get a lot of visitors to your area who come from far away to visit the ocean?
Oh, yes. We get people from all around the world that come to McCarraker State Park to enjoy our ocean, the marine protected area that's here, and to watch for the whales.
All right. So we have just 1 minute left. So I'm just scanning through all the questions coming in from all around the world. And one of the questions is kind of asking, and a couple of students have mentioned it, how do whales breathe underwater and how do they live in the water when they are mammals?
Oh, these are great questions. Okay, so we've already talked about that these animals are mammals, just like us. They need to breathe air, but it's kind of hard to find underwater. They need to come up to the surface and breathe through a blowhole that they have. It would be almost like if we had our nose on top of our head instead of on the front of our face. So they have to come up.
बघा रे मुलांनो, ते मॅमल्स असल्यामुळे, सस्तन असल्यामुळे त्यांना ब्रीदिंग करावी लागते. म्हणजे आपल्यासारखी ब्रीदिंग म्हणजे काय, श्वासोश्वास घ्यावा लागतो. तेवढ्यासाठी ते वरती येत असतात, म्हणजे पाण्यातून वरती येतात. आणि त्यांना पोर्स असतात त्यांच्या डोक्याच्या अलीकडे, डोळ्यांच्या वरती. आपले कसे पोर नोझल्स असतात, नेझल्स, नॉस्ट्रिल्स असतात ना आपल्याला दोन, म्हणजे दोन नाकपुड्या, तसं त्यांना पोर्स असतात. त्या पोर्स वाटे ते ब्रीथ करत असतात, म्हणजे श्वास घेत असतात.
For air. And as a mammal living in the ocean, they need a set of special adaptations, or changes to the way that they behave or the way they look to survive the cold waters and the crashing waves. That's actually something I teach quite a bit about in my Skype in the Classroom lesson.
Very cool, Kat. Thank you. Now, it looks like our time with Kat is up, so we wanted to thank you so much and your gray whale friend. It's been lovely visiting you at McCarraker State Park. Remember to take your pictures with Kat. This is a good time to take a picture with Kat and that gray whale there on screen. Very awesome. Now we are going to move a little bit further down the coastline. We're going to float down to Point Lobos State Natural Reserve and visit our friend Daniel next. So thanks so much, Kat. We'll see you later. And Daniel is in more of the Central California coastline at Point Lobos. So hello, happy Oceans Day, Daniel.
Thank you, Erica, and thank you, Kat and Angie, who were before me as we float down the coast. As Erica said, we're at Point Lobos State Natural Reserve. We're located on the central coast of California, about 300 miles south of where Kat is at McCarraker State Beach, and about 450 miles south of where Angie is at Redwood National and State Parks. Right here at Point Lobos, as well as all up in that we help protect. So today, we're going to find out more about these animals that live here in the kelp forest and what we can do to help our oceans. And really, this is kind of just piggybacking from Kat and Angie's great presentations. Angie earlier said, you know, learning more, connecting more with the ocean is a great way to start caring about it. Because once we know about something, we'll develop an appreciation for it, and we'll want to do something to make sure that it's protected. So keep that in mind as we look at some of the animals that depend upon this kelp forest. We're going to add to our knowledge base. Now let's start at the very bottom of the kelp forest, boys and girls. Some of the animals that we might find on the bottom of the ocean near the bottom of the kelp. I'm going to bring up this to you. We have a couple shells right here to share. All right. This animal right here, out there in World Ocean Celebration Land, who can identify this curious round animal with these kind of flattened quills? If it were still alive, these quills are spines would be sticking straight out.
Animal आहे मुलांनो हा.
So this animal right here, students,
yes, समुद्राच्या बॉटमला असतो हा.
is indeed the sea urchin. The sea urchin lives at the bottom of our kelp forest and is an herbivore in our kelp forest.
समुद्राचा अर्चिन येतो.
Which means, you got it, the seaweeds right there.
Seaweeds.
So an urchin is something we would find right down in our kelp forest. Some of you may have noticed this incredible shell that the urchin shells were in.
हे बघा शेल वगैरे मुलांना शेल शिंपले एवढं मोठं शिंपलं आहे बघा.
And turn it over to this side right here.
याच्यात मोती असतात.
And see the reddish color here.
बघा शिंपलं
which gives this animal
शेल येते शेल
part of its common name.
कॉमन नेम स्नेल
This flattened sea snail right here is also an herbivore, eating the kelps and the seaweeds at the bottom of the kelp forest. And this animal is known as the red abalone.
रेड ॲबलॉन त्याचं नाव काय रेड
Here's the
ॲबलॉन
inside
शेल सारखा दिसतो
of
रेड
the
ॲबलॉन
abalone shell. The animal's no longer in there. But what a beautiful gift the ocean gives us right here in these beautiful shells that are homes to very important animals. Now, there's a couple other animals I want to share with you from our kelp forest. But just to plant the seed of, these are just a few of the animals that are here. There's about 1,000 different animal species that depend upon the kelp forest. The urchins, the abalone are two of them, but also a rockfish. Check this out, students.
बघा रे
Woo! So we've got lots of different fish in our kelp forest. And they depend upon it for shelter and
दिस इज अ रॉक फिश
habitat and finding some of their food. Now, some of you are waiting for this moment right here because you know where this is leading. A lot of times when people think of the kelp forest off the coast of Central California, their mind goes to a very special marine mammal. And that very special marine mammal, boys and girls, is the sea otter.
बघा रे मरीन
Here
मॅमल
we have the southern sea
Yes,
otter right
yeah.
here. This is a puppet, by the way, with a piece of kelp that it's holding on to. Everything that this animal needs, it gets from the
तुम्ही
kelp.
पाहिला होता का
It's shelter, it's food, it's where it raises its babies in the hopes of building up their populations. So one day, boys and girls, perhaps this animal will no longer be endangered. The southern sea otter's numbers are low. The good news is their population numbers continue to go up. Places like these marine protected areas here at Point Lobos help to protect a whole habitat for these animals. And the otter isn't the only animal that benefits, but all the other animals within our marine protected area potentially benefit from our marine protected areas. Now you may be wondering, these animals are wonderful to learn about, but really, what can I do about our marine protected areas? Well, first of all, a marine protected area is something that we have along our coast of California, but they're worldwide as well. If you happen to be at Point Lobos or one of our marine protected areas in California, you will find this sign right here, boys and girls. It says that it's a marine protected area, and it's very simple. No collecting or fishing. So that means as you're walking along our marine protected areas and you run into something like this beautiful shell, what you'd be invited to do is pick up this shell, touch it, share it with your family and friends, and let them know what you know about the red abalone. Maybe smell it, listen. Did you know what you'd need to do before you left that beach? Yeah, leave it behind. There are two reasons, boys and girls, why you would want to leave this shell behind. The first and most important one is this shell is actually going to break apart, decompose out in the ocean, release ingredients back into the ocean so animals can make their shells. When this red abalone was born, boys and girls, it didn't have a shell, but it had special body parts that could take out the shell's ingredients to make its own shell. So if we take shells away from the beach, we're taking away future homes for animals that aren't even born yet. So at our MPAs, make sure that natural things all get left behind for that reason of making new shells. The second reason, think about how you felt when you discovered this treasure on the beach and how awesome it was. Well, when you put it back there, the next person that walks along will get that same feeling.
Him and his otter There we go. Take a good selfie with Daniel. Awesome. All right. Well, we are going to float further down the coast now, and we are going to visit Robin, who is in Morro Bay. Go ahead, Robin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robin, and I'm here at beautiful Morro Bay State Park on the central coast of California. So I am not too far from Daniel, and it's so great seeing my fellow MPA friends, Kat, Angie, and Daniel. Thanks so much for all of your wonderful words of wisdom. And happy World Ocean Day to everyone. Not only is it World Ocean Day, but it's also Monday, which is my favorite day of the week because we love to celebrate marine protected areas on Monday, and we call it MPA Monday. So here at Morro Bay State Park, we have a lot of friends that the other, what blubber is, it's that thick layer of fat that's right underneath your skin that gives marine mammals the ability to be warm and comfortable in this really, really cold, chilly environment. But sea otters are actually the only marine mammal that don't have blubber. So what do you think they have to keep them warm in the really cold water that they primarily live in? Do you think they wear wetsuits? I know I like to wear a wetsuit when I go in the cold, chilly water, but it might be kind of silly if we see a sea otter in a wetsuit. And if they don't have blubber, then they probably use that really thick fur that Daniel was talking about. That really, really thick fur is so important to them. It makes them able to survive in this chilly ocean environment. So I'm going to have all of you look at the back of your hand, and I want you to draw out one square inch, just like this. An invisible square inch on the back of your hand with your finger. It's about the size of a postage stamp. And I want you to look at that 1 square inch. And I want you to think, how many hairs are on 1 square inch of a sea otter's body? How many hairs do you think are on just 1 square inch of a sea otter's body? Maybe 100, maybe 1,000, maybe 100,000? On just 1 square inch of a sea otter's body, they have 1 million hairs. 1 million hairs, which actually makes these animals the furriest creatures in the entire animal kingdom. They have more fur than any animal in the world, and they've adapted to have this fur so that they can survive in this super, super chilly water. These marine protected areas provide a healthy place for them to further survive in their ecosystem. And here at Morro Bay State Park, we also like to talk about our 3 R's. So we already kind of learned from the other MPA presenters about things that we can do to help the ocean. And most of you probably know what those 3 R's are. We have reduce, reuse, and recycle. So reduce is reducing how or straw that you may have at home. So kindly refusing plastic items can make a really purchasing things mindfully. Maybe you're reducing your plastic, whatever it is, it makes a really big difference because the animals in the ocean, they're not familiar with our trash. And so they can use it in ways that might harm them.
Students from India, Spain, the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, Italy, Portugal, Ireland, Australia, Wales, Puerto Rico, Siberia, Russia. I'm sorry, I said Siberia and I meant Serbia. Apologies, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been really great celebrating World Oceans Day. And I want to remind you, as we finish today, that our world ocean, it's one big body of water. We are all connected by this beautiful blue ocean, and it is ours to protect. So please, everything that you do in your daily life, thinking about reducing your waste and reducing your impact to really help preserve a healthy ocean ecosystem. So thank you so much for joining in to this Skype in the Classroom live event and for joining California State Parks. If you would like to post anything on social media, remember we are using the hashtags hashtag Microsoft EDU and then hashtag World Oceans Day. And then if you want to tag Skype Classroom, so at Skype Classroom and at CA State Parks, we would love to see your photos from today. So thank you guys so much. It's been lovely seeing you, and happy World Oceans Day. All right, everyone. Good morning.
हॅलो मुलांना, जागे व्हा. झोपले होते का?
नाही सर.
किती पार्क पाहिले आपण? हॅलो, किती पार्क पाहिले आपण? काय रे, एक पण बोलायला तयार नाही.
4 किंवा 5.
ते पण माहित नाही 4 का 5. We have seen 4 national parks. 4 national parks and all were in California. All 4 national parks were situated in the coastal part of California. Coastal means समुद्र किनारा. किनारी भागामध्ये सगळे पार्क हे किनारी भागामध्ये आहेत. And we have learned lot of about the sea mammals. Sea mammals means समुद्री सस्तन प्राणी, समुद्रातले सस्तन प्राणी यांच्याविषयी बघा. त्याच्यात वेगवेगळे प्राणी पाहिले आपण बघा. अर्चिन पाहिला, नंतर तो पिलॉन पाहिला, नंतर तो एक पॅन्डा सारखा एक प्राणी पाहिला बघा. तो सुद्धा आत असतो, बरोबर. त्यानंतर सगळ्यात सुरुवातीला आपण पाहिला तो सी मॅमल पाहिला, व्हेल पाहिला, व्हेल. बरोबर. तर एवढे प्राणी शेल पण पाहिलं. हे सगळे बॉटमला असतात कॅलिफोर्नियाच्या नॅशनल पार्क मध्ये. पुढच्या आठवड्यात आपण दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी जाऊयात आपण. ओके, एखाद्या म्युझियमला जाऊयात. ओके, हा ठीक आहे. आता आपण थांबूया, जेवण करायचंय मला. जेवणानंतर कृष्णा आहे का? 8:53 झाले. एक 15 मिनिटांनी मला फोन कर. लक्षात ऐकलंय का तू मी काय बोललो? हो, हा, ही काहीतरी बोल ना मग.
हो सर.
ओके, 15 मिनिटांनी फोन कर मला.